Hi, this is Linda talking in American English one more time. This is lesson 44. I need to do a lesson on pronunciation to summarize the situations where students are having the most problems. So I'm pulling it all together in one video. Part of it will be about the consonants that are a problem, partly with vowels, and then a few other situations that sometimes make it hard for you to be understood. Many of you know a lot of English words and can speak sentences, but you're still frustrated when people don't understand what you're saying. So this should be a summary of everything any of my students need to know about pronunciation. So let's move on. The first part will be about consonant sounds that are difficult. The first of those is R and L. R, the front or the tip of the tongue does not touch anything. Right there doesn't touch anything. But with the L, the tip of the tongue touches the back of the top front teeth. Right there. It's a big difference, very important. Let's practice these sentences. Lily really likes red and yellow roses. Lily really likes red and yellow roses. Sally Louise is an elderly lady with curly silver hair. Lori wants Larry to rest and relax. We walked far. Remember, I'm doing this from before. Far for 4 hours. What about V and W? V, the bottom lip goes backward into the mouth and between the teeth. But the W, the lips pull forward toward the center and push out a little. Ooh, 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 ooh. When will the victory over evil be won worldwide? We will wait and see the very lovely view from the window when the winter weather winds down. W is a little bit different from WH. Both have the lips pulled to the center and pushed out a little. But W is voiced. It means it vibrates. And there's no extra air. But with WH, there's no vibration and there is extra air. It's like you're blowing out a small candle. What did he wear? And why didn't he wash his white shirt? Why will Walter win? What will he say when he wins? We will wake up when we want. So it's important for the lips to come out so that it doesn't sound like a V, but it's also important to make the WH have extra air and no vibration. Now, some students have trouble leaving off an eh sound at the beginning of words that start with ST, SP, or SN, such as Stephanie spoke, not spoke. Stephanie spoke and stopped Stan from starting to eat a snack. The speckled snake stared at the strange striped snake. Now the S letter sometimes sounds like an S, sometimes it sounds like a Z. S is voiceless, and it's usually in a noun or an adjective or an adverb. Z is voiced, vibrates, and it's usually in a verb. If the storm gets too close, that's not a verb. Close the windows, that's a verb. A computer has many uses, that's not a verb. So use it wisely, that is a verb. The teacher will excuse, that is a verb, you, if you have a good excuse for not doing the homework. Some have trouble with M and N. M, the lips must touch and stay there for a little bit. N, the lips do not touch. N. Sometimes I play a tambourine and sometimes not. Someone whose name is Emily wants more money. Hope she gets it. V and the B sounds are sometimes confused. With the V, the bottom lip goes backward inside the mouth and between the teeth, and it's voiced. B, the top and bottom lips touch briefly, followed by a small explosive sound. B. That's why it's different from because it pops open. B. But it does vibrate. Evelyn and Robert have to give their very best effort. The brown envelope was very important to Beth and Violet. Now, similar to that, we find F and P. F is shaped just like the one we had before with a V, but it's voiceless. Bottom lip between the teeth. And you blow air, but it's not voiced. The P is like the B, but it's not voiced. Top and bottom lips touch, followed by a short explosive sound. P. Remember, but you vibrate it. B. But on P, you don't vibrate. P. People often fly on a plane to Philadelphia. PH sounds like an F. Let me do that one more time. People often fly on a plane to Philadelphia. Pamela finally fulfilled her promise and finished the project. Some have trouble with CH and SH. Both are voiceless, no vibration. The CH begins with an explosive T sound, ch, but SH begins with just air flowing, shh. And the air flows freely, there's no stopping it. It is a chore to pick up trash along the shore. Will you share some of the chairs with us? Let's eat chips and sit on the deck of the ship. The farmer bought the sheep at a cheap price. He can chop some wood and sell it at the shop. With the money, he then will choose which shoes to buy. Some have trouble with that, some don't. Both TH sounds have the tongue between the teeth with air coming around the sides of the tongue. Air's coming here. One vibrates and one doesn't. If it vibrates, it's got two lines. If it doesn't vibrate, it has one line. They say that all the time. Both of them thanked their mother for the birthday cake. There are 3 of these and 3 of those, but 1 of this and 1 of that. Now we'll go to the vowels. The long E sound, the mouth is barely open and very wide. E. See the sheep in the field. The cheap seats in the theater are easy to buy. Short E is slightly more open than long E and not as wide. E. Yes, I'll bet the rest of the yellow butter will melt. Exit the room when the bell rings. Long A sound is a little more open than the short E, and the tongue is slightly raised in the middle. A. Also, it makes a slight long E sound at the end. A. Take a break at 8. Wait until we bake your favorite cake. But the short A sound is the really hard one. It's open more than the long A sound. And the front of the tongue is low and back of the tongue is raised a little. It sounds like that ugly A sound we talk about, and it sounds like a sheep. Ah, that's the sound of a short A. The fat cat has sat on the bad rat. That is a fact. The long I sound, it's even more open. The jaw is even lower, and the corner of the mouth is pulled outward just a little, and it ends with a long E sound. Why do I lie and try to hide the truth from my wife? The live, that's an adjective. The live rabbit wants to live, that's a verb. It's life, a noun, in the wild. I. The short I, the mouth is barely open and the corners of the mouth slightly pulled back, sort of like the long E sound. But it's a little more open. Very much like long E, but the corners of the mouth are not pulled back as much. If, not E, it's if. If I switch to a little bigger width, the lid will fit. I will sit and make a list. The long O sound, jaw is low and the lips pull inward to make a round O shape. Folding clothes is so boring to most people. The boat is overloaded but still floats. And the short O sound, the jaw is low and the lips are relaxed and loose, not pulled in. Ah. This very hot water is not what I wanted for my hot chocolate. Notice the sound is sometimes spelled with an A, but it's the sound of a short O. There are not a lot of cars parked on the top of the garage. Long U. The mouth is open less than the O, and the lips are pulled in more than O. U. It is useless and futile to use the 2 huge rooms to view the new zoo next door. The short U sound many times is hard because you want to pull in, but it is totally relaxed, mouth barely open, everything is relaxed, only the stomach muscles work. We huddled under the umbrella until the thunder made us rush for cover in another public structure. The pup sees the unlucky duck and it runs into some mud and gets stuck. Also, don't mix these up. Make sure they sound different. At least he is not the last on the list. Fill the cup and feel the heat. The sock is in the sack. We'll eat it if you will. Will eat it. Spell the word speed. Don't spill the milk. He will set the table and sit down. The hat is too hot to wear. Now we have the ugly sound. The ugly is just the sound of the letter R, and that's all. No matter what the vowel is, ignore the vowel. Just say the letter or the sound of R. You heard her right the first time, so don't worry. The bird jerked the worm out of the dirt. It was hard work. For her birthday, she yearns for a fur coat and a pearl necklace, but she will get a skirt and a shirt. The owl sound. It's the same as that ugly A, and then you go to an O, O. How about rounding up the brown cows we found around our town? How did they get out? And the aw sound. The jaw is very low and the lips are pulled in a little. Aw. The awful noise caused us to call for all the officers. I thought they caught the men who fought. And there are 2 ways to say double O. One double O sound is like a long U with the lips pushed out and the jaw pulled up a little. Ooh. The other is a little more open and the lips don't go out as much. Ooh. I dropped the book on my foot. I should have worn a boot. Notice if it's it's underlined twice. If it's it's underlined once. The food you cooked looked good. I ate it with a spoon. And avoid the or or anything else after the end of a word when it's not needed. Not I was going to go, but I was going to go. But it, now after the T, we usually have to just stop. But it. You could say but it. It's a little bit harder. But it was raining. He is nice, not he is a nice, because that would be in the sentence, he is a nice person. There's no word a in there. He is nice. The sick, I have to stop. The sick people have to stop on the V, have to take their medicine. Take there, you have to stop with the K. They wish to, no. They wish to leave that place. He had to. The D and the T have the tongue in exactly the same place. One vibrates and one doesn't, so just leave the tongue there. Had to. You hadn't, and then explode the T. Had to stop his, not stop a his, but stop his car quickly. She sat in the tub for an hour, not tubba. She sat in, or she sat in. She sat in the tub for an hour. We went to Carl's, and the went to can just be one T. We went to Carl's house. You have to go from S to H without any noise. Carl's house for coffee. In the past, now we just stop because we can't say pasta. In the past, people traveled, stop, less. In the past, people traveled less. The stopping after those ending sounds is very important. I hope that helps, and I probably won't do any more pronunciation specifically. This is the summary for all of it. I hope you can remember all of that, and I hope it helps.